All right, let's deal with the whole Ric Flair deal, which just developed organically out of nowhere. Yesterday morning, we've been kind of watching this story develop, and the incident with Ric Flair occurred up in Gainesville at a pizza bar restaurant called Paisano's. Now, not the traditional spelling in Italian of paisano. They're all cutesy-wootsy up there in Gainesville.
A little pun.
They call it pie, like pizza pie, P-I-E, Paisano's. And Ric Flair was up there last weekend because some relatives, it was his wife's...
His wife's daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Graduating from UF.
His stepdaughters.
His stepdaughter was graduating.
Graduating from the University of Florida up in Gainesville. So he was up there, and it sounded like he was a little tanked up at the bar. A video was released of him getting into an argument with the bartender. And anyway, the story went viral. It was all over the place that Ric Flair had this issue. It was caught on tape. And knowing that Ric Flair lives in town, he lives in Tampa, lives in the Channel Side area, Roxanne just sat next to him at a bar.
At the Pearl.
At the Pearl.
Mm-hmm. Like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he came into the Pearl.
Yeah.
He remembered that, too.
Yeah. I don't think he did. Anyway, so Roxanne...
who's to say that? Why would you say that, MJ?
Because
that's weird.
He did say he remembered it.
He said he didn't remember it.
He said he did remember
it. Do you have any good listening skills?
We have to listen back to the tape.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're just trying to diminish.
You're just jealous.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with this, but I will also want to compliment Froggy on his part of the interview, because how about Froggy knowing that Conrad Thompson
That's right.
was a wrestler and he liked that little comment that
he's
you made.
a podcast host.
Or podcast host.
Oh, yeah. Froggy knows the most about wrestling in the whole room.
I love a good wrestle.
He brought the wrestling credibility to the call.
Yeah,
good job.
Added some wrestling street cred to the show, because I know nothing.
Yeah.
I've loved Ric Flair for years.
Although when I was a kid, when we moved from New York City, Nanuet, New York City, when we moved down to Virginia Beach in 1976, I immediately started watching Mid-Atlantic Wrestling on Wavy TV 10.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah, that was like Ricky Steamboat, Blackjack Mulligan.
Yeah.
All those guys. There was
during the territory days.
Oh, yeah, that was good stuff.
Then WWE bought everybody.
Yeah. All right, so we called up Ric Flair. We didn't yes, you're whispering. We can hear you. What were you whispering?
That Rick just texted me.
Oh.
So I think he remembered.
No, he did not.
I'll show you.
Rick didn't. Show it to Fester.
What?
Rick just texted you?
What did he say? Woo!
By the way,
thanks, Toots.
By the way, I thought he was great on our show yesterday. I've got a new respect for Ric Flair, because I thought...
you texted him?
I thought Ric Flair...
He was great.
I thought he opened up. He sounded human. He sounded contrite. He was apologetic.
You should thank us, really.
I thought... Listen... And the way it was covered yesterday,
all the news made him look good.
Yes,
it really did.
That's what I'm saying. Ric Flair, in the aftermath of the bar incident, I think he looks great now.
For real, it really did. His PR team should thank you.
Really, I am now Ric Flair's PR agent. All right.
Does he have one?
So here's what happened. We did not have. Oh, look, Ric Flair just texted me. Thank you.
What?
Hang on. Hold on.
Why is he texting everybody? Why does everybody have his number?
We love Rick. We love Rick.
Ric Flair. Look at this. Ric Flair. Just hang on. I'm holding it up there. No, it's not. I'm holding it up. Ric Flair, and he just said thank you.
For what?
I'm holding it up to MJTV.
You texted him last night.
Yes, I did. I texted.
Awesome. Listen.
I texted Rick last night, and I'll read you the text that I sent to Ric Flair in just a second.
Ric Flair's a national treasure.
Listen, and a nice guy. I always heard he was a nice guy. He now lives in the Tampa Bay area, lives down at Channel Side. So here's what happened.
He humanized himself yesterday.
Well, that's what I said.
He's like, my intestines are bad.
That's what I said in my text to him last night. So here's what happened. We didn't have Ric Flair's number. In the aftermath of the story breaking about his issue at the bar up in Gainesville at Paisano's, I said, does anyone have Ric Flair's number? Text Fester right now. And I gave out Fester's text number, which we always do. It's no secret, 813-310-8444. And you kind of gave me a look like, what are you doing? Come on. It's almost like you didn't want a part of this.
Well, the first 10, 15 texts I got was, his number's 813 Woo! I'm like, oh, come on, man. I can make my own dumb jokes.
So we end up with like 4 actual numbers.
Right.
And we tried like 2, and they went nowhere. And then like, you know what? Let me try the Charlotte, North Carolina area code of 704. And boom, I dial it up. I put it on hold because, we get permission before we put someone on the air. And Fester is off the air on the phone. And describe what happened.
So I call. You call the number. You put it on hold. I pick it up. It goes to a ring. And then a person who I believe I am waking up. Hello. And I said, Rick. And he said, yes. And I introduced myself. I said, hey, this is Fester from the MJ Morning Show. We'd like to talk to you just to clarify what happened at the Paisanos. And he said, I really don't want to comment on it, which I have full respect for. But the next question is always, hey, I understand that. Can you tell MJ I don't want to comment on it? Because telling me is nothing. Can MJ talk to you on the radio and say, and just tell him, hey, thanks for calling. I don't want to comment on it. And Rick says, sure. I say, great.
Because as Fester knows, he just has to get them on the air just for a smidge, and that I can work my magic and try to turn it all around. And don't want to comment turned into an 8-minute interview where Ric Flair just unleashed everything, spilled his guts. He came clean. He was honest. He sounded human. He sounded great. I've got some of the audio chunks. By the way, the whole thing is on our website. If you want to hear the whole call, it's on mjmorningshow.com. Anyway, this gets picked up by the New York Post yesterday. TMZ had it first. So TMZ published first. Then I get contacted by the New York Post. So there are 2 huge write-ups, New York Post, TMZ, and then all of the wrestling sites pick this up. 411 Mania, Wrestle Zone, Wrestling Inc.,
I love those sites.
Bro Bible, which is more
News,
sports and
pop culture of the day. Yeah.
Bro, I mean, it's all you do is Google search. It's all over the place. Let me read the headline from the New York Post. Ric Flair gives his side of heated restaurant incident. Caught me so off guard. The TMZ. Where's the TMZ headline? I have it here somewhere.
They also mentioned the name of the show in every one.
Oh, yeah. You have to credit the original source.
Yeah, we're the original source of Ric Flair coming clean. And it was great. So,
and thank you to Andrew for editing the audio and putting that in the post.
Andrew.
Good job, Andrew.
All right. Excellent, excellent editing. All right.
Yeah.
So,
team effort.
All right. So I have. Look at Roxanne. All right. So let me.
I'm just trying to build. I have a point. Okay.
All right. So let me play just a little bit of the audio from my interview with Ric Flair yesterday. Just. Andrew, am I playing this? Is everything in order of how I should play it, Andrew, on the button bar? Andrew? Yes? Okay. All right. So here we go. Here's chunk number 1. What happened at Paisanos, if you care to comment?
I had a disagreement with apparently a kitchen employee
Yep.
in the bathroom, which no one was around, just me and him. And you remember when I almost died in 2017?
Yeah, we brought that up a few minutes ago.
Yeah, so I have obviously my intestinal, my body works differently now.
So Rick was trying to go into the bathroom, but apparently a kitchen employee was taking a ridiculous amount of time in the bathroom. And you know what I've since heard? I had somebody contact me and say, you know what, MJ, a lot of times the restaurant employees or the kitchen staff, they'll go into the bathroom. They're not actually using the bathroom. They're on their phone in there.
Well, they're just getting away from the line.
They're getting away, and they're taking a long break under the guys. They're in the bathroom, but they're on their phone. They're doing stuff. They're making phone calls. So Rick needed to use the bathroom, and here's the kitchen guy. All right, next. What happened with Nicholas, the bartender? There was he trying to cut you off, or he didn't want to serve you? What happened there?
The 2 people that were tending bar were very nice.
Right.
I gave a $1,000 tip.
Wow.
It was 2 people that I had not met prior to coming out of the bathroom, and they just descended on me, telling me that I was out of line, and I said, well, how would you even know you weren't in there? And then it just escalated, and I was wrong for getting mad, but, I kind of felt like I was defending my position, I'm with my wife and my stepdaughter, who's got a degree in criminology, and is going to go to work for the FBI. And they came on so strong that she got scared and ran out the door.
All right, then one other chunk here.
You know, it's funny. I've never in my entire life had an experience like that. Isn't that funny?
Thanks for setting the story straight.
Well, I don't know that it's straight because I was wrong for losing my temper. But when I feel like I'm being, when I put in that area where I'm uncomfortable and all of a sudden everything just fell apart, I got upset. I was wrong for getting upset, but I probably just should have walked out the door. But it caught me so off guard because we were having a wonderful time, and all of a sudden, someone not belittling in that position, but someone in their kitchen said that I did something wrong in the bathroom, and there's no one there except me and him. So who?
His original position after the incident, he was really ticked at them. And he even made a comment that I'm going to buy this place and rename it Ric Flair's Italian Bistro. Which I thought,
you probably should, Rick. That would be awesome.
I thought that was really funny, actually. So I got to, I got to take Ric Flair out for dinner. Thank him for, or maybe he should take me out for dinner because I really did a good PR job for him yesterday.
I don't know.
Maybe
hang with the
that.
Rickster.
Yeah.
Yes.
So New York Post, Ric Flair gives his side of heated restaurant incident, caught me so off guard. On their website, they had the big picture of Ric Flair and the screenshots from the video that somebody captured where, he was cursing at the bartender and things were getting out of hand. And the actual caption on the front page of the New York Post online, it was like, Ric Flair spoke to the MJ Morning Show on Q105 Tampa Bay. I'm like, whoa, that's fantastic. And TMZ, their headline, they were the first to have it. TMZ was first yesterday. Ric Flair addresses restaurant incident. I was wrong for getting mad.
Look at that.
Yeah. So I asked Rick if he could give me a little MJ Morning Show ID.
Hey, it's Nature Boy Ric Flair, and you're listening to the MJ Morning Show. Woo!
Man, come on. You made it awkward with that.
That was the.
Yeah, you really did.
What was awkward about me asking the?
That's so old school.
Come on, I asked the Nate for.
Nobody calls him that.
They did in TMZ. Yeah, they did.
Yes,
still a little
okay,
bit,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Yes, they do. They call him the Nate.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So nothing wrong with getting a little ID from the Nate. So.
All right.
Look at that.
That's pretty awesome.
And let me share my text. So last night, I sent Ric Flair a text.
Right.
And the text reads, Hi, Rick. This is MJ from the MJ Morning Show here in Tampa on Q105, 104.7 FM. Thank you for coming on the show this morning. You sounded human, contrite, appropriately apologetic. This made you look great in the after.
Right.
Jesus.
What did you do?
This is
Who
the
are you
email. This is the
talking
text
to?
message
This is
sent
what
him?
you sent him?
Yes,
Who are you talking to? You're talking to Nate. That's
Listen,
like this
Look at a
is,
nature boy, right?
Yeah, right.
God, you
I
guys-
You
mean,
sounded
Hold it.
human.
You guys
As
just
opposed to what? Animal?
listen. You guys,
you really you
listen. You guys just agreed. You guys just agreed that he looked great on the show yesterday.
Yeah, they sent him a
Yes,
text kissing his butt
All
about
right,
it.
can I read my freaking text?
Go ahead.
All right. Hi, Rick. This is MJ from the MJ Morning Show here in Tampa, Q105, 104.7 FM. Thanks for coming on the show this morning. You sounded human, contrite, and appropriately apologetic. This made you look great in the aftermath of the original reporting and video. The subsequent reporting in the media today reinforces the likable guy you are. And he texted me just a little while ago. Thank you. I sent this at like 9 o'clock last night. And then just at 7:41, so 11 minutes ago, he said thank you.
He's going to send you another text in a couple seconds. Never contact me again.
Thanks for making
I'm
me
blocking your
sound
number.
contrite.
Yes.
oh my gosh, that's
what
funny.
a Dorcas.
All
What do
right.
you mean I'm a Dorcas?
So you texted him for? You trying to be the nature's friend now?
And, a lot of the articles kind of honed in because I asked him if he was a little tipsy, and then he kind of rolled out his bar tab for us.
He went down the whole list
Yeah.
of drinks.
I didn't drink at all. I
hold
just
on.
had a couple big
Well, then listen, it wasn't that much.
Not for him.
Here's that audio. So you weren't tipsy, you weren't a little inebriated at all?
No.
Gotcha.
I was drinking Mick Ultra and I probably had 2 mixed drinks.
That's nothing for him.
You know,
Yeah, Mick Ultra and a couple mixed
he
drinks.
said,
Big whoop.
he's like, I had a couple of Mick Ultras, and I thought he was going to say like water or
And
He
iced
hasn't
tea.
had water probably in 50 years.
Yeah, in ice.
Good for him.
I thought that he came across very well, and I think that he really helped clean up the mess. What am I grabbing? I'm grabbing line 5. Detective J on line 5 wants to talk to us.
Oh, boy.
Hi, good morning. MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hello.
Hey, good morning. I just wanted to tell you I had an encounter with Ric Flair years ago as a rookie police officer in Ybor City. And he was at Cherries, if you remember.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cherries, absolutely.
Yeah, and he was with Joe Gomez, who was a wrestler at the time and a friend of mine as well.
Yep.
Yep, and was down there doing my patrol, and Joe said, I want to introduce you to somebody. Introduced me. He was so nice.
Yep.
So just like Roxanne was talking about, so nice. He was polite. He was slightly flirtatious in a very polite way. And he was like, hey, can you walk around with us? And we're like, sure, this is what we're doing. I tell you, people saw him and they were like, hey, that's Ric Flair. I mean, you could just see him. He was so nice. He spoke to everyone. He stopped to sign every autograph.
Woo!
Yeah.
He was fantastic. I mean, he really was.
Yep.
And he was, like I said, slightly flirtatious, very nice. Asked me for my number at the end of the night. I said, I can't. I'm married. But, very nice, very polite. I had a great encounter, and he was awesome to all the police officers.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hey, listen,
that's cool.
Detective J, are you still with TP? Oh, you called before. You're retired TPD now.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Retired, yes.
All right, listen, thank you for checking in. Great story from the street. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Very
Look
cool.
at that.
Thank you, Rick. Call in anytime. You know, MJ, you know what this is? The beginning of a beautiful friendship.
You think so?
Yep.
You know, listen, we over the years we had Hulk Hogan in the studio. Then things kind of went south with Hulk Hogan and me. And
Listen.
you know, and then listen, Macho Man
came in.
Macho Man.
Yeah.
Hey, what is it with the Tampa Bay area and the wrestlers?
So,
Well,
There used to be
training off Del Mabry was where their minor league
Yeah,
training
a
was
lot.
years and years ago.
Because even like the old Blackjack Mulligan, he died in Tampa.
Tampa was a big territory. Like back in the day, a lot of guys wrestled here.
Yeah, like
and had families here.
yeah,
Right.
it was like this is like where the
Gotcha.
minor leagues were, where the training facilities were. I think it's moved to Orlando now. Is that right,
Yeah.
Froggy?
yeah,
But,
it is in Orlando.
but originally, Del Mabry was a hotbed for wrestling. You know,
I think Tampa's like where most wrestlers live.
It really is. Or around the Tampa Bay area somewhere. John Cena, he's here.
he lived in.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, who? Yeah,
when
John
I-
Cena.
I told you guys when I did that wrestling thing, when I did when they had the Divas, back when they had the Divas, I did a story at the training ground on Del Mabry and did
wanna
wrestling
hear-
stunts.
Anyway.
Want to hear my wrestling story?
Yes, I do.
I did the last interview with Dusty Rhodes
Are you serious?
Before-
When have you
No
dusted
way.
before he passed away.
Aw.
And then-
Fine, I
He
know.
said,
I love
he
him.
said, this interview is so awful. I wish I was dead. Nick." And I was like, oh,
Will you
it's so
stop it?
dusty.
And then Macho Man, didn't he have a heart attack while driving on
like Seminole,
in Seminole? Like,
off Park Boulevard.
yeah, and
He hit a tree.
and crashed the truck. I mean, terrible.
Terrible.
Yep.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, wait, Lanny Poffo was his brother. Is that right,
Leaping
Froggy?
Lanny?
Yeah, and he just passed recently too.